I'm going to start with this point, because it was this realization that led to me creating this theory. What I realized is that there's a very good chance the Shinju clones will eventually wish to unseal Kaguya after learning about her existence. Given Jura's voracious appetite for knowledge, it seems very likely he will eventually learn about the history surrounding Kaguya. Jura would have several possible motives for unsealing her. The first motive would be to simply learn more about the shinobi world. Kaguya is arguably the most important figure in the whole history of the shinobi world, so Jura could wish to unseal her to satisfy his curiosity. A second motive could be to liberate the other 10 tails that Kaguya was sealed away with. Jura is obviously a reincarnation of the juvenile 10 tails, so there's a chance he might feel some kinship with the 10 tails that Kaguya fused with, and that is currently sealed away with her. A third possible motive could simply be the natural instincts of the Shinju clones kicking in. The clones have mostly ignored their natural instincts thanks to their sentience, but Jura referred to their innate instinct being to absorb all chakra, so he might wish to find and absorb the other 10 tails. Funnily enough, Kaguya also wished to possess all chakra, so perhaps she was influenced by the innate instinct of the 10 tails after fusing with it. How the Shinju clones will find Kaguya? The story has already set up for this possibility, because the bug Shinju clone clearly knows of the existence of Ida and also seems to be aware of her Senrigan ability. Her ability will prove useful to the Shinju clones in locating the dimension and exact location of where Kaguya was sealed. I actually believe Ida's use in unsealing Kaguya has been hinted at in the anime, but I'll get to that later on in this long. Kaguya's presence throughout the story. Kaguya's presence has been seen throughout the story of Boruto, especially if you've watched the anime as well as reading the manga. Some examples of Kaguya's presence in the story include the following. The connection between Sumire's seal and Kaguya. Sasuke searching for Kaguya's dimension. Momoshiki being the threat that Kaguya was preparing for. Team 7 investigating and fighting an evolved white Zetsu in episode 52. Burroughs' cult worshipping Kaguya and the infinite Tsukiyomi. Ishiki's backstory involving Kaguya. Based on her presence in the story, and especially her connection to Ishiki, I don't think it's illogical to believe that Kaguya might play a role in the future of the story. This next section will focus on some parts of the anime that possibly hint at Kaguya eventually being unsealed. If you're somebody who believes that the anime is completely non-canon filler that has no bearing on the manga, then you might want to ignore this next section. As for the hint towards Kaguya's unsealing, in episode 8, which is the episode where Boruto first noticed his Jugen, Naruto and some other characters walked in on Boruto wearing a Kajimasa mask and pretending to be him. During this light-hearted comedic scene, Boruto said the following words. I will envelop this world with darkness that is nearly lethal and intoxicating. Infinitely clever and elegant. That is my truth. Forgive me, goddess of destiny. My eye will steal away your divine protection faster than a runaway train. The time is now for Genesis. 4 years now I've had a theory that these words are referencing Boruto eventually unsealing Kaguya. And I've also theorized that the stuff about darkness that is nearly lethal and intoxicating and the time is now for Genesis is a reference to the divine Genesis, world of trees jutsu that was used to encase those who were caught in the infinite Tsukiyomi and connect them to the god tree, and also referencing the infinite Tsukiyomi itself. If this really is a hint towards the future of the story, then it's possible that Boruto will be the one to unseal Kaguya, and the Shinju clone's curiosity could simply be used to steer the story in the direction of Kaguya being unsealed. I suppose we could see a race to unseal her, with Boruto winning the race? So that's it. As I've said, I strongly believe that Kaguya will be unsealed in the manga at some point in the near future of the story, and it will be the curiosity of the Shinju clones that will steer the story in that direction. If we are to believe that the parts of the anime I mentioned really are purposeful hints towards the future of the story, then it might actually be Boruto who unseals her instead of the Shinju clones, or it might just be the Shinju clones themselves.